Welcome to Brumbies TV, your one-stop for all the news of the 2016 Super Rugby season. Chris Dutton and Wallaroo veteran Louise Burrows joined us in the studio, and I caught up with Josh Manray upon arrival back in Canberra from South Africa.
Tonight on Brumbies TV, Scott CEO finds out who plays the music in the change room on tour. Sports reporter Chris Blocker Dutton is on the couch, and we catch up with the Brumbies under-20s after their final match of the regular season.
That's right, we're here at Brumbies headquarters, and it's great to have the boys back home. Back home from a two-game tour in South Africa, and with me now is Josh. Now, you had one loss but one win. Pretty good effort.
Yeah, good effort. Like I said, disappointed to not get the win against the Stormers, but to come home with one win in Africa is a good result.
Yeah, and unfortunately didn't get to play against the Cheetahs because of a suspension. Are you looking forward to playing this weekend? Yeah,
looking forward to get back in training with the boys and that sort of thing. It's disappointing to get suspended for a week and not be able to play against the Cheetahs. But, big obstacle this weekend against the Chiefs.
Yeah, it'll be a good game to watch. Now, I saw all of the social media photos in South Africa. It looked like an awesome trip. Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was great. It's good to get to Cape Town and that sort of thing. It's a beautiful place. A lot of scenic things there, and I think the boys who had been going there for their first time really enjoyed it.
Now, you boys spent 3 weeks on the road in South Africa. How do you feel this impacts your preparation for the Chiefs game this weekend?
Yeah, it's not ideal, but we the boys, we got pretty good rehab and recovery methods ahead. So, our S&C planned for this weeks in advance. So, as long as we, the boys get their sleep and that under control, I think we'll be right.
Yeah, now the Chiefs weren't off to the best start at the start of the season, but now they are on top of the ladder with 5 wins. Are you feeling prepared for this? Like, is it a challenge?
Well, every week's a challenge.
Yeah.
You play on a different side that plays different sort of footy. So, but the Chiefs are a very quality side. So we know what's up ahead of us this weekend. We've played them every time we play them. It was a really close game. They've been in the finals nearly every year. So, it's a very quality opposition, and we'll get our reviews right and that sort of stuff and get on the training paddock today, hopefully, and start preparing.
Well, wishing you all the best for the game for Saturday. It's going to be a good one to watch. Thanks so much for stopping by to Brumbies headquarters. I'm Brittany on Brumbies TV.
Hi guys, back here in Bloemfontein. I've got my bus buddy here, Michael Dowsett. How's the trip been so far, mate? Talk us through a few of the highlights.
Mate, yeah, really enjoyable. Cape Town's probably one of my favourite places in the world. I think it's amazing. Going down the waterfront a lot with the boys, getting feeds and just hanging out with the boys every day it's a lot of fun.
I've heard from a few of the boys, you're a regular roomie with Christian Lealifano, one of our co-captains, but I did hear that as soon as you came in the team, you kicked him off the bed and told him he has to sleep on the floor. Is that one of your rules?
Yeah, Christian know that. Soon the big dogs in the rooms, everyone's move out of the way.
Talk us a bit of your playlist, like what do you like to put on to get the boys up?
Yeah, mate, I've been, Christian's kind of trust me with the speakers this trip, and it's been a bit of a tough task, to be honest, but I'll just try to mix it up. You've obviously got the Scott Fardys and the Ben Alexanders that like to complain a lot when any sort of rap or hip hop comes on, so it's important to play a bit of rap, bit of country, to keep everyone happy.
The Rebels couldn't find any rhythm against the Highlanders, and the Waratahs had a nail-biting victory over the Reds. The Sunwolves have had another narrow loss, this time to the Bulls. The Hurricanes dominated the Kings at home, and the Stormers defeated the Jaguars in Argentina. Taking a look at the leaderboard, the Chiefs have moved to the top a week before they arrive in Canberra. The Brumbies and the Rebels are the only 2 Australian teams in the top 8. The Reds, Sunwolves and Kings are all still looking for their first wins of the season.
Played 2 World Cups in 2002 and 2006. I made a decision to try and start a family, and I discussed with my husband, would I be happy if I never played another game of rugby? And at that time I said yes. I'm ready to start a family and not play rugby anymore. I never said I was retired or anything. I just had that in the back of my mind, and I had the kids, and then a couple of the girls convinced me to come have a run with the local team and with the ACT team, and I ended up coming back and playing, and, you know, just that mateship of being around the girls that lured me back in, and, you know, now it makes me a little bit upset to think, wow, one day I'm actually going to have to retire. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to that time. My goal at the moment is obviously making the Wallaroos this year and next year in the lead up to the World Cup in Ireland. And, you know, to be playing at my 4th World Cup would be amazing. A couple of years ago, we were struggling for numbers, and I think since the women's sevens have been in the World Series, and with the Olympics having women's sevens and the men's sevens, you know, this is fabulous because it helps not only the sevens side but the 15s as well. So for me at my local club Royals, we've got all these girls coming, and young girls from 17 coming, and they want to play.
Yeah, it's really good, and I think Louise is on the phone to us more than the Brumbies are, I think, having a chat about how the Wallaroos are going and Royals in the local competition as well. And I think one of the big things to come out of Canberra women's rugby was Shani Williams. She came through the Royal system, I think, as well.
Yeah, I actually coached her when I was pregnant with my son. Yeah. So I taught her everything she knows. Clearly.
She's obviously the captain of the Australian Sevens team now. Like, she's a former mechanic, and she's gone on. She's rugby full-time these days. And she loves the game so much that she fixes cars in her spare time, and rugby's a job sort of thing. So to see it come along from where it was, I think, you know, it wasn't that long ago where there was probably only a handful of teams in the Canberra competition and not that many players to go around, to, like Lou was saying, that it's grown, that young kids are coming along now as well. It's fantastic. Don't you know I'm home?
I probably didn't think I'd be playing Super Rugby straight up. I wasn't very good until I was a bit older. Sort of a long-term process, probably from 18 through to 22 when I did get signed, was a lot of hard work, and to finally realise that goal was pretty exciting. It was a bit of a strange day, my debut. I had a lot of friends and family come down from Sydney to watch, so it just made it that much more special, I guess. And when I did, my very first touch was a knock-on, and so I was increased the nerves a lot, but I managed to score a try, and it was probably, the best feeling I've had, definitely playing rugby. Moving forward, it's more with the team that we have. It's all about just making the most of your opportunities when you get them. They're such a good team, and learning from these guys just is all I can do at the moment. And then when I do get my opportunities, making sure that I'm ready to take them. I think I can appreciate it a bit more. I think that's the big difference. The first few games I was very nervous, and like anything, as you get more accustomed to playing, you can appreciate what you're doing a lot more.
I just feel like it's a real homegrown kind of team and has that real family feel about it. And I think anyone can go and watch a game and know who the players are. And after the game, you know, I love it even when my kids can go down to the side of the oval and the players come up and say hello to them. And, you know, they're really nice players, but they can play the game really well, but off the field, they treat everybody really well, with respect as well. I think you know, going off last year, there's a really good vibe within the club, and everyone knows that, you know, we can win again. And I think it's just having that belief as well amongst the club to say, well, we can be the underdogs, but we can come through and win a big game. And, you know, come finals time, things change and it's anybody's game. So I think we've got some young talent coming through with the guys and also with the girls. And, you know, numbers have been good at training, and hopefully, you know, we can put some great games together on the park and come away with another premiership. That would be amazing. Women's rugby at the moment has it all. We've got sevens where you can go travel, be a professional athlete. You can travel the World Series. You can go to a Com Games, an Olympics. and they have the World Cup as well. And then with the Wallaroos, the 15s, we've got, you know, tours to New Zealand, and also we've got our World Cup every 4 years. So there's 2 options of the 7s and 15s, and some of the girls cross over. And I just think, you know, we've got these young girls coming through now thinking, well, you know, they say, you know, I want to be a Wallaby, where now they want to be a Wallaroo. So it's really exciting.
For the Brumbies, I think like it all depends on how you recover from that flight back from South Africa. I went on a trip over there with them 1 year, and I think it took us 33 or 35 hours to get home. This week will be about less training load and more about maybe a little bit of mental preparation, looking at what the Chiefs do and just making sure that they're fresh going into the game, as opposed to try and run them into the ground leading into this one. Yeah, they're a fantastic side, and they've been a fantastic side for a long time now. They probably dropped off the pace a little bit last year, but I guess when they come to Canberra, we always think of that 2013 grand final where the Brumbies played the Chiefs over there, and there's been a good rivalry between the teams ever since. So they're kind of a side you can never write off. They've got such talented guys that can turn it on. They've got great coaching staff down there. Hamilton's a bit like Canberra as well. They're away from the spotlight. So, yeah, it's kind of going to be a tough matchup for the Brumbies coming back from South Africa to try and get that win to get the next part of the season rolling. Last year, I don't think David Pocock was playing in the Brumbies game against them last year over there in New Zealand, and it was kind of like it went right down to the wire. I remember there was a penalty in the last minute or so, and these teams are so evenly matched. They both love attacking rugby. They both got really strong forward packs, great set pieces, so it's really even matched across the field. So I think what fans could look forward to is attacking rugby. The Chiefs run it from everywhere, and geez, they've got some of the most exciting backs in the competition that they'll have a crack from almost anywhere where they've got the ball in a bit of space.
It's time to take a look at how the Brumbies and the Chiefs match up ahead of their clash in Canberra. The Brumbies have won more games than they've lost. The sides have had the one draw. The last time the teams met was in February last year in New Zealand, and the Chiefs had a narrow win. Fullback Aidan Tua has experience over the Chiefs' Damien McKenzie, but the visiting fullback is definitely one to watch. The Chiefs will have to look back to 2014 to remember what it's like to play at Canberra Stadium. It's been nearly 2 years since they had a game here. In other games this week, the Highlanders host the Force on Friday night. The Crusaders are in South Africa to play the Lions. The Blues play the Argentinians in Auckland. And on Sunday, the Sunwolves are on the road against the Kings, and the Waratahs host the in-form Rebels.
Who's the most annoying person in the Brumbies squad?
Since Nick White left, it's a bit of a vacancy. So, you know, we're yet to see who's going to become the most annoying. You know, Ida, I think every time he opens his mouth, he can be a bit annoying at times. But no one yet. So no one's really stepped up to the plate yet. But it's a long year ahead.
I'd have to say Matt Tamor.
Why's that?
He's just a pest.
I think it is Joey Tomane. He always try to speak in Spanish, and he always says to me to teach him new words and bad words in Spanish.
Jared Butler. Just little things, you know, he cleans his ears and he doesn't chuck his earbuds in the bin, little things like that. But yeah, that's the character of Jared.
Most annoying person will probably have to be Rory Arnold. Ever since he got that rookie award from Rupa, he's been talking out of line a bit. You know, he has more of a voice this year than last year, so I'll probably say, yeah, Rory Arnold.
Scott Fardy. He's a bit of a mumbler, so you can't really understand what he's saying half the time, so it makes it quite difficult.
Scott Fardy, definitely. To play golf with as well. He's a bit of a stickler for the rules, so when you're having fun playing golf with Fards, it's sort of comes second to, you know, taking it a bit too serious, and yeah, you're not allowed to relax and just have fun.
It's got to be Scott Fardy for sure.
What does he do?
Oh, he's just a general pest. He's always leaving things in your locker. He smells, he's unclean, he's dirty.
In 2016, the Australian Rugby Union introduced a weekly under-20s competition for the first time. All 5 Super Rugby teams are represented, competing for the Super Under-20s Championship. Head coach Russell Ingram says the players are thriving in the environment.
It's probably the first time the boys have been put in a program that's semi-professional or closest we can get to a professional program. So training for 4 days a week for 2 to 3 hours. Before, they've probably come through programs where they're training 2 to 3 times a week, but not with the gym and the S&C component of it.
Vikings playmaker Jordan Jackson-Hope is captain of the Brumbies Colts. He's one of several players who have played for the Australian schoolboys.
It's unreal. I've been training for about 5 months, 5 or 6 months, I think. Yeah, I think the boys just individually have picked up a lot of skills and stuff along the way. And the team's probably the strongest it's been in a few years, so I think it's credit to the program and stuff Russ is doing behind the scenes.
The ARU will select the Australian Under-20s team from the inaugural Under-20s Championship. The side will travel to England in June for the Junior World Cup. Pushing for a place in the Australian team is Colts hooker Suter Tai.
I think if we perform strong as a team, a lot of players, along with myself, are contention for the next level. Just to build myself as a player, not only on the field but off the field, just learning things that what it takes to go to the next level.
The Australian team will be announced in April.